5, by the way. Man, RZA's here today, co-creator of the new Wu-Tang series and one of the stars of the new Wu-Tang series. Our good friend Joey Bada is in the building. One of the Calvin Klein model.
Oh,
I mean,
they ain't pay me to check this year. But
what do you mean? You didn't get it? You didn't get another? You didn't get a re-up? What happened?
Oh no. You know that was 2015.
You don't re-up? They don't. It's not forever. It's just at that point.
We with Paco Rabanne now.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay. I just recently saw
Million Man and all that. You know, you're looking at the new face. I don't know if I was supposed to let that out the bag, but we got a thing with letting things out the bag.
I
on
love
your
when
show.
you let things out of the bag.
Yeah.
RZA, would you like to let anything out of the bag? He is now working with Paco Rabanne. Now he is the new face.
I'm just going to absorb that energy right there. Bong, congratulations.
Thank you, King.
That's pretty great. Your career is really developing nicely, Joey.
Fruitful. I mean, you know, I try. Like, I'm super just grateful to be here. Like with this man. Like even before I was actually a part of this series. Like this man has been like a mentor to me, like personally. Like
really?
I could call him.
I was wondering if you
anything.
knew each other before this.
Yeah, like when I was first, trying to set up my label with Pro Era and everything. Like this man definitely gave me his ear and made sure.
But how? How did you even know him?
So shout out to Sophia Chang. Sophia Chang was like a person who's super instrumental in my career and helping me get things done and figure things out. And Sophia Chang used to work with RZA back in the day, used to manage him back in the day. So she kind of connected us together.
She used to bring him out to the Wu Mansion out in the woods.
Yeah.
And
really?
He'll come through and just chop it up.
That's a fact.
You must have been a baby.
I mean,
no.
That was like a couple years ago.
That was it?
I'm
Okay.
always back on that side. I felt like just so you could know, like on a quiet level. It's like when I was trying to figure some things out, was people like Isaac Hayes or Quincy Jones that would spend time with me, you know what I mean? And I would just pick their brains and watch out for the pitfalls. And so when I became a guy that had success, I made myself available. So even, when ASAP Roach was trying to figure it out, he came out, we sat down, like, yo, listen, bong, 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 bong. You know what I mean? Joey, who got such a unique spirit, such a real representation of hip-hop as well. In an era where I felt like, whoa, what's going on here?
You were confused?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
There was a lot of people confused.
I mean?
Yeah.
And so anytime, anything, really at the end of the day, it's like, that's the only way that wisdom multiplies is when we share it with the next generation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Absolutely.
each one teach one, right?
Exactly.
Yo, but you can't just stun on us and say something like a statement like that and not give us some type of jewel that Quincy Jones or Isaac Hayes dropped on you.
Yeah, that was mad casual.
Yeah, it was mad casual. Like, when I was coming up, Quincy Jones.
That's so many of them, but the most important, well, for this young man, I would say something that Quincy said that I didn't listen to.
Okay.
He said, when it's raining, boy, you better get wet. Right?
It sounds like Quincy.
And what he meant by that is that sometimes, because I was very conservative, whereas ODB was, he told me to be more like him because
get it.
It goes. You know what I mean? But I'm on some turtle. The turtle could kind of get the race too. You know what I mean? So I take both angles of it. But in hindsight, it was a few years where I said I should have kind of jumped in the water.
You probably left some things on the
popped out
table.
a little bit more
Yeah.
network word.
Wow, that's great advice. And what about Isaac Hayes?
Well, Isaac Hayes, first of all, it was more musical, like showing me the proper progressions. That the Cream song, which is one of Wu-Tang's biggest songs, is a sample from Isaac Hayes and David Porter, and the way that the piano went. He showed me how that piano went, and by me knowing what I was doing,
wow,
it advanced my skills. It probably led to me becoming a composer because I'm seeing the movement of music, not just in a hip hop way of looping it and all that. And then he also, helped me with the, kind of consciousness of health, veganism, and all these things.
Really?
I was early on that. And the most important thing I think that Isaac did for me on the business side was he told me his story of what happened to him with Stax Records during that era when they was like the big record label, and he had like $18 million and lost it all due to some type of industry accounting. What I mean?
Oh, and not the industry accounting.
Yeah, and I was like, well, brother, that was those days, brother. It ain't gonna happen to me. But something similar did happen because it's just part of the growth of our industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you have to live and learn. It's so funny because as long as I've known you, you've never seemed to me like a new, like bright-eyed, up-and-coming. You've always seemed like you knew what you were doing even from the beginning.
Wow.
So
Thank
think
you.
about you as like young and trying to get advice from people. Like, I don't know, my perception of you is always like you already always had a plan. You always had.
I mean, certain parts of me had that, but the crazy thing is when you know, like at his beautiful age right now, you think you know it all anyway.
Yeah.
But you don't. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
But fortunately, maybe nobody else don't know.
Right,
So,
right.
but nah, you know, preparation was always my main thing. Like, you know, before I did anything, I studied about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before I said I'm going to start a record company, there was a couple of books that was out from Donald Passman and maybe Kashif. And so, like, I've read and read and read and read, you know what I mean? And nowadays, you can just go on your YouTube or go on your phone and Google that information.
And watch.
Yeah, and watch, which, you know, a picture could say 1,000 words.
Yeah.
So,
It was harder for you coming up to find that info, right?
oh, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
For sure. Yo, what is this moment like for you? Because I just feel like from the 25th anniversary to the doc to now this show, like, what does that feel like for somebody who created and had that big moment to now it's like being introduced to a whole new generation and reliving? Are you like reliving it? Is it weird? Is it?
Yeah, it's actually feels like it's like ordained. You know what I mean? Because I strongly believe that what Wu-Tang represents is healthiness for our industry, a healthy footprint for young people growing up in our city or any city around the world that's going to always face these challenges of which way do I go? You know, how do I get away from something when I fail? How do I rise again? How can I become a phoenix? You know, how do I realize that by myself I'm this, but when I stand beside others, I multiply? You know, these type of things when you're young, everybody goes through it one form or another. And I think that with this current climate of individualism, it's so important that unity is kind of reintroduced to us. And to me, that's what Wu-Tang does.
What do you think was the biggest mistake you guys made, if any? I know you learned from all your mistakes, but I mean, if you could go back and be like, damn, we should have, or damn, I would have.
I think, I don't know if it was a mistake, but there was just a certain point in my life where a certain kind of passivity had overtaken me. And what I mean by that is, you know, around the time when corporate America was really about to really embrace hip-hop and throw major funds into it, I allowed the Wu-Tang empire to dissipate, you know what I mean? And I, you know, gave everyone back their contracts and all that. And I think that was like not the right thing to do on the business side. On the personal side, everybody was happy, yo, I'm my own man, and everybody went and continued their hustle. But if we would have kind of held tight then, you know what I mean?
What do you see? What does that look like?
A skyscraper would have been, we would have had a skyscraper in New York City.
With a W on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And we still could get one.
I was just about to say, I say it's not too late.
It's not too late.
Yeah.
I say it's
I'm not going to make that mistake again. Okay? Let's be clear.
So now you're the co-creator of this series on Hulu. Did you pick Joey because of your relationship, or did somebody else say Joey and you?
No, well, Joey was striving to act, right? And the crazy thing was, I think it was at that Christmas party when Deck was there and you was there. And at the time, I knew that the show was going to happen, and he don't know this though. But anyway,
yeah.
This is new, brand new information.
I whispered over to Inspector Deck, like, "Yo, what you think, yo? I'm talking about this kid right here for you. He's a real lyricist. He's dope. You know, he got some physicalities of that. You know, tall. You know, chocolate. You know, chocolate.
Chocolate's a good thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so Deck actually was like, that'd be interesting, yo. That'd be cool.
Wow.
Because, you know,
You didn't know
can't
that?
choose somebody for somebody, then next thing you know, he's like, yo, son, that's how you see me?
Yeah. Yeah, right. If you would have
You know what I
cast
mean?
somebody nuts.
And but Joey, you know, went through the process that, you know, that actors go through.
The auditioning
it doesn't
and the
matter.
casting.
So my vote is worth about, let's say, 3 votes, right? Out of a team of 5 of us. So, and of course my partner Alex C, big fan of Joey. Loved them as well as the idea. But then you still got to get to the studio. And then the studio, like we've had some actors and some people that we all strongly believed, and the studio just would not put that green on that. Based on whatever, you know.
Then what do? Do you fight or you just take it?
Sometimes you fight and sometimes you win. But you also got to trust the insight of them because they also have shows and they could kind of go, you know, this particular person for our thing doesn't really work. It won't work for us.
I know you won't tell us, but I wish I could know who you. I wish I could know who they passed on.
No,
you
well,
thought it was
anyway.
gonna be dope.
Well, anyway.
Anyway.
You know what I mean? He came in
what
and
about people he picked as?
Yeah,
Exactly.
nah. This was
Exactly.
a solid pick right here. I
solid
love Joey
pick.
as an actor. I've told them that before.
you know, somebody introduced the idea of him as an actor to me early on. I never told Joey this either. I don't mind sharing things I haven't. He looked at me like, brother, what you gonna say now?
Nah, I'm like, it's all new
No.
to me.
So remember I did that movie Love Beats Rhymes?
Yeah.
So the original writer wrote it with you in mind. Yeah. Like even when she gave me the script, it was like a picture of him on it.
You never knew that?
No.
That's so crazy.
And I was
That's actually how I got Mr. Robot.
right.
Yeah, like they wrote me in it before they even told me about it.
And you were like, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I was actually supposed to be in it from season 1, but they couldn't find me. So then I
Where's
came
he at,
season
yo?
2. And then
Where
boom.
was you at? You have
That's
an
what I'm saying.
Instagram.
I'm like,
It ain't
bro,
that
I was
hard.
in
But it's
Brooklyn.
kind of
somewhere.
hard. They think it's hard to find rappers,
Yeah.
though. You know what I mean?
It's
You
not
gotta
that hard,
go to the
really.
back
Not
cave.
now. Everybody got a
Yeah,
DM.
right? I don't know
Everybody
what
got a
it be.
DM. It's not that hard.
Like, who could it find you?
What's Meth's? I know Meth is a big part of this
Yeah,
too,
he's an
right?
executive producer as well.
So what is his role?
Well, as an executive producer, he also had voice on choices of talent, voices on story direction,
Yeah.
and just kind of having that overseer vibe. You know, Meth is a very important member of the Wu, and you know, for me, when it comes to the Hollywood side of things, only two of us really know it, and that's me and Meth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even though each Wu member has a great creative mind, he understands the business of what we do.
Well, he's made movies.
Yeah,
and
so he was the best one to be in a position to bounce off the ideas and to see if this works. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Imagine TV, Brian Grazer, Ron Howard, they also, they wanted another EP from the team beside me, and was like, well, that's the best choice. And so they actually went to him and his manager and his team and made a deal with him, and bong bong.
Bong bong.
Bong bong.
That's amazing. And then when they cast the person to play you, do you do it or do they do
boy,
it?
So I'm what you call a showrunner. So
Right. Okay.
no, so a showrunner is considered the hardest job in Hollywood
Okay.
because the showrunner not only he has to hire the director. I'm a director by trade now, right? I'm up to my third movie directing, and that's what people pitch me as. But now I'm a showrunner, meaning I gotta hire the director. And you also got to deal with the cast. You got to deal with the production.
The lighting, the AP, all of this.
99-page budgets. Right now,
99.
I could go through. Man, I'm like this, yo. Like my counting ability is ridiculous right now. You know what I mean?
You seem like you're really good with numbers anyway.
I've been good, but
Yeah.
this was the sharpened. This was like the best college course ever.
Got it.
But anyway, so I get to vote. Like I said, I have a strong vote on the actors. And this kid, Ashton Sanders, he just had those eyes. You know what I mean? When I was watching him in Equalizer 2, I don't know if you've seen that. But he just...
He was in Moonlight.
Yeah, Moonlight. But it was Equalizer 2. Him, in Moonlighting, I wouldn't imagine it. But in Equalizer 2, I seen him absorb this character who was trying to be an artist, but his brother was in drugs, and he was tempted to be, carry that gun and be a gangster or whatever.
You saw it.
And I was like, yo, I understand that feeling right there. And that character that Bobby is in this phase of the story is a kid with those eyes. Wow. And he came in and we sat down and we talked about it. And we didn't even think we was going to really get him because he's actually a hot ticket right now. And he felt the vibe of the Wu and the spirit of the story, and he joined the team.
Is that weird when you're watching somebody play you?
Yeah, I think it's weird.
I don't talk like that. They had a girl play me in the Tupac movie. There was a girl, and I was like, I mean, no disrespect to her, but I was like, I don't talk. Number one, I didn't say fam in '96 for sure. I didn't say that till later. And number two, I don't talk like that. It was weird to me.
Because that reminds me of one day on set when we were shooting actually, and we all got good chemistry. Like the whole cast, we all super cool with each other. Everybody just be vibed out. And it was this one scene was in the studio. That studio scene, I ain't going.
Don't blow it for us yet.
I'm
Okay.
like,
it just dropped yesterday. I'm
It's
literally
out,
going
out.
home to binge watch
Let me not
3
blow
tonight.
it. Yeah, nah, it was just so funny because we had one of those moments where it was like we were all like saying, yeah, God, and then one of the production assistants had to come in like, they wasn't saying God at this time.
You gotta rethink that. I'm glad they did that though.
They turned it to, yeah, son. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
That's
And
so
son,
funny.
and not done yet either.
Not done there. No,
Yeah.
definitely
Duns,
not.
No dunnies, no none of that.
But is it weird to see somebody play you?
I won't say it's weird because I'm like I said, I make film and so
Yeah,
I understand
yeah.
it. But the weirdest thing is my wife seeing it and fearing for what's going to happen to me. But but she
She
said,
knows this is a movie, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But she did say, because she gets to watch it as we developing it.
Right.
She, by the time we got to episode 3 or 4, she was like, Bobby, this kid has got you down. I mean, he's touching his, because I had a habit of doing like touching my lip and, kind of, lanky, leaned over. I stand up straight now. I know you back in the days you met me, man, I was like kind of a C shape. And he's just walking around like that. He's like, yo, and he's like, I was like, but he sits there and he watches you. Like I brought him into the studio to teach him how to use the SB1200, and he's just, he's learning, but he's just looking at me. And then I started talking, and he started like,
mimicking you?
Yeah, how kids do that, like mocking me. They call it mocking when we was kids, right?
That would piss me off a little bit. Is
Well,
it weird?
my mom was like, okay, this kid is kind of like
He's working.
He's
He's
down.
working.
Yeah,
He's working.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it paid off. You know what I mean?
You mean like he was saying your words back to you?
Yeah. I'm like, yo, son, look, if you're gonna hit the pad like this, he's like, yo, son, look, if you're gonna hit the pad like I'm like,
That's hilarious.
word. So I'm like, okay, this, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay. I hope he don't get mad that I blew it up because he there was like a private session. He's like, yo.
It's all right. It's just a process. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
a
a
little
process.
Shout out
process.
to Ashton, man.
Wait, what? So what did you have to do to play yours? Did you have to do any of that? Did you follow him around? Did you spend time with him? Did you watch videos? What did you do?
Nah, we just kind of like followed each other on the gram, and I just did mad like personal, like just studies, just watching anything that I could find, like videos, trying to study mannerisms and talking.
Like
and
what? Give me one
stuff like
mannerism that you noticed.
I mean, well, that's the thing. I couldn't really find too much, but
Okay.
I noticed that like there's this one thing that Inspector Deck do. Like when he used to rap back in the day, he just had this lean that he would come with, like the shoulder was dropped. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the things I definitely
Go get your Frazier, the Hellraiser.
You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the joints I definitely
fire.
picked up. Like, I gotta drop my shoulder a little bit. You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of pressure. You gotta get that right too.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
so
yeah. Yo,
hard.
it's I can't wait till that episode comes.
Yeah,
That's
his-
so hard. I can't wait to
Ooh.
see you drop that shoulder.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. So it's 6 episodes?
No, we have
Oh.
10.
Oh, it's 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
good. 10 is better.
And he does make a great appearance when he comes into the episode, into this when he makes the Inspector Deck appearance. It's so I think it's iconic. I mean, you see it in the trailer.
Yeah.
But I think what makes it so cool is that Inspector Deck is a very observant person. Like some rappers could say, it was a blue Benz just drove by, right? And some rappers could say it was a blue Benz lightning plate said money. But Inspector Deck even going to tell you that the tag was cut off on the license plate.
Yeah.
He's that
The
detailed.
detailed,
You know what I
right.
mean? And the character kind of does that when you first meet him. He's just describing everything that happened in the neighborhood within like 30 seconds, right? And Joey is killing. He's like, yeah, about 8:15, and then the mailman came by. The fat kid that's late for school every day. And then he just,
Oh, that's dope.
yeah. I was like,
Wow.
I haven't seen none of it. You
I
know.
thought I remember some of the early reports. People were saying that Old Dirty's son was gonna possibly play him.
He did audition, and he did good. He took classes. He has more time to develop his acting
skills. Yeah, because he looks
Looks exactly like him. Yeah.
He's his. I saw him the other day. He's on Growing Up Hip Hop New York now, trying to get everybody pregnant. That's what he said.
Yeah, no, I saw him say that. Listen, he been on. He is, I think. I told him, listen, man. If you ever want to have $1 for yourself, this is not how you invest your energy. Okay.
This is not a good plan.
Nah, it's not a good plan.
He's funny on the show though. He's really like one of the stars of that show. Like when he comes on this camera, you have to watch him. Have you seen? Or you just saw that?
Yeah. I
clip?
saw the first episode, but he's a beautiful kid anyway. Like something about him.
He's
is-
magnetic.
Yeah.
He's
very
definitely magnetic.
the kid who we got to play Old Dirty, T.J. Adams, was actually a rare find for us. Chris Robinson directed our pilot, and when I saw the New Edition story, I don't know if you guys seen the New Edition story.
Yes.
That was all Chris Robinson, and so
of course, that was
when everybody
incredible.
was bringing up like who to direct, I was like, I want Chris, and his schedule opened up, and he came through, and he had worked with T.J. on something else, and he also had worked with Dave East on something else, right? And so he pitched both of them.
I love the casting of Davies as Method Man. That's
Chris,
great casting.
Great casting, and that was a director's pitch, and we's like, of course, we had to run it by Meth, and then Meth and Dave met, and bong.
And bong. They probably lit something up. Then it was all the way.
That was
locked
perfect
in.
casting.
Yeah, that shit was
perfect casting. But how do you tell his son, who breaks the news? That must have been a terrible phone call to have to make.
It was me.
You do it?
That's part of being a showrunner. But at the same time,
RZA.
I did it.
How did he take it?
Well, I'll tell you this. He took it okay. I think he took it okay. He took it good. He's a me and him have a great relationship.
Yeah.
But I think he was a teeny bit bitter because I offered him something else to do, and he was cool.
He didn't want to do it.
I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But I told him, just
it probably would have
keep
been
prepping,
hard
keep
to be
prepping
on set.
Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ODB story has a lot to it, and I think our series will just touch the surface of what ODB really was.
Do you see that this could spin off into other versions of or individuals?
I think definitely ODB's story, is a very unique story, very dynamic, and even if I didn't know. I
mean, he's like he was very interesting. He was not a common kind of person. He was a very unique individual.
It'd be great to turn the magnifying glass on his story only, and focus. And maybe if that time comes and that energy comes to the universe, maybe Boss Son would be ready to step in those shoes.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
What do you think about what do you hope for this whole thing? What do you want people to know about Wu, or just get out of this? Or
my main goal is just to continue the inspiration, entertain you. Hopefully you're entertained by us, right?
We got to be entertained.
Right? And hopefully you get the inspiration of what we always wanted to bring, Wu-Tang is for the children.
Always has been.
And always will be.
Yeah.
And hopefully young people can watch this, young Americans, and then maybe young people around the world can say, okay, the Wu-Tang is kind of a map, It's a map. You could and there's a pitfall right there. There's a cliff over there, and you don't have to go off. You could be like, okay, hold on. I remember when Raekwon got to that point, he made the left turn and went that way. I remember when Method Man, there's one thing in the series that's important. Method Man, we meet him in episode 1. He's the assistant manager at the Statue of Liberty, concession stand, that's what he would. And to become an assistant manager, you got to be a hard worker.
Yeah.
And that same hard work ability and personality he carried throughout his career.
Yeah. No, he's always been.
What I mean?
Yeah, real
but
serious.
He had to also, something happens in work, and he lost that job. You know what I mean? And you'll see it as the series goes on. He loses his job, and opportunities become less and less.
Yeah.
But he was a hard worker in every capacity. And for young people to realize that, sometimes it's okay to get and take the hot dog, hamburger stand job and build yourself up. Because self-building, self-economics, knowledge of self, these are foundation principles that you must have. And then once you have that for yourself, then you can relate to somebody else who got it. I remember Will Smith said that when he came to Hollywood, first he was kind of a little loose, but then when he realized that he wasn't advancing because he had knowledge of himself and took a look at himself, he surrounded himself with 5 people either as smart as or smarter than him. And then he went from there to megastar.
I could listen to Will Smith give advice all day.
Yeah.
He drops so many jewels all the time.
I can listen to this man.
I know you too. Yeah. You have that about you too. And I feel like you've been more open too as you've
kind of not under the table.
You're not in a C shape anymore.
Not in the C shape. I like
coming outside getting wet now.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Welcome outside. He's outside now. Well, I'm excited. So what do we? So we get 10 episodes.
Yeah.
On Hulu.
On Hulu, streaming now. So the first 3 is already available. available. Every Wu Wednesday, we'll drop another one.
Wu Wednesday
until number 10.
Are we gonna see any of the Wu members in any of the episodes?
You mean like as actors?
I don't know. Or are we gonna see you appear? Are you gonna? I mean.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let that unfold for itself.
Okay. That means yes.
I mean, we already seen Papa Wu. If you seen
Okay, Papa Wu, yes, Papa Wu. It just dropped last night. I'm gonna go home and watch it tonight. I haven't seen it. Don't spoil it for me.
I ain't spoiling none.
All right, so Papa Wu is in it, and maybe you guys later on. We'll see.
You'll take a look and see.
How do you feel about the doc? The doc release.
Wow. First of all, thank you, Master Pill, Sasha Jenkins. You know, that was great. That was brave.
Yeah.
That was, you know, for me personally. I speak personally. It was like a little
therapy
and gut wrenching. Like it was painful too, yo.
Like what? What was hardest? Do you think for you?
Well, we didn't filter it, right? And nobody, you know, knew what nobody was saying. So, you know, some things, you know, I could totally disagree with. Totally disagree. Totally see the story differently than the person who was saying it. But so it hurt me, like to hear that you felt you was fighting for something I felt I was giving you. But what I learned from it is the true power of perception. So right now you're looking at me and you see what's behind me. I see this thing behind you with the Shiggy D and all. I
didn't even know Shiggy was there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I could describe to this day to you a certain way, and you'll be like, no, it's no Shiggy. And I'm like, yes, it was, because you couldn't see that. That's all. And it let me understand that, wow, everybody have a perception of what's in that room, and we got a respect of what they saw.
Yeah.
And so it gave me a new respect for that. And
was
I'm
it
proud
hard to
of it.
watch for you?
It was very hard to watch.
Yeah.
And listen, I had the power to kind of, you know, cut some stuff out, but I let it ride. I was like, you know what?
Because that's their truths.
Exactly. Exactly. And let the universe itself, as time evolve, maybe their point will become more relevant and understood by me, and my point will become more relevant and understood by them, and all these, you know, different things.
Do you think it healed you as a group of men, or do you think it maybe opened up some wounds?
No. I think it helped heal. You know, the big premiere we had for that, right, at Chelsea. Tribeca Film Fest. The cool thing about it was that a lot of brothers didn't see it until that night, and it brought out emotions. You know, people here.
Oh, that's tough. You're watching it there for the first time.
You read about sometimes you read about U-God and RZA and all that. You know, when we was at the film festival and we now stood up in front of the audience, you know, U-God stood there, you know, little watery eye, and he was like, "Yo, I love this man." You know, we go through what we go through, and I love that man too. You know, I love him. I love his children. You know, our mothers knew each other, man. You know, this is a community that was probably neglected and would not be known. And these men came together and made this community known. And no matter how we look at it, you know what I mean, we all were able to give our children a better path than we had. And that's the ultimate goal. And that's, to me, the ultimate goal for Wu-Tang. If anybody listen to our music, watch our TV show, watch our documentary, please absorb it and realize that we're just trying to show you that there's a better path. You know, I'll just make this last thing. I don't want to get too preachy, Angie, but it's like you may not think in your 20s, right, of what it's going to be in your 40s, right? And you may commit that crime or give up or drop out of the school or leave.
Spend that money.
Or spend the money or abandon the kid, right? Not knowing really the beauty of what's going to happen 20 years later, you know? And we could be testaments to that, you know? Think about starting your first job at the radio host and maybe you get a cool salary and you're excited to now becoming a voice of generations. It's almost unimaginable. So people out there understand that it starts off as a flower, right? And if it grows more, it can become a tree.
And by the way, it will rain on that flower.
It will rain, but the rain is making it grow.
People will step on the
People
flower.
will step on a dog will come and piss on your flower.
But once that tree gets to a certain level, right?
Now everybody want to take pictures.
Right, but when it starts producing fruit, though. See, if you would have cut it down before that, you could have made some wood or made some furniture. But if it starts growing and it starts producing the fruit, one apple tree can make a whole orchard. And that's the benefit of that patience, and that's what I hope that young people get when they listen to Wu-Tang. They get it. They know that this pyramid could grow, yo.
That is beautiful, RZA.
Absolutely.
I'm serious, though.
And true. No,
Yeah,
it's
thank you.
absolutely true, and it's a great thing that they should take. I have two really good Wu moments. One, Summer Jam.
Which one?
Well, y'all came out and Ghost was pissed off.
Oh.
And me and Ghost, by the way, I knew Ghost very well.
Yeah.
I remember like not that long before that, Ghost and I had went, me, Ghost, I think Raekwon, we went to a Tommy Hilfiger outlet and together because they invited us and we went shopping and we were like, we were not used to this type of treatment. We were still, the three of us were like, yo, we can take whatever we want. This is crazy. Like, we just had this dope experience together. And then fast forward, they got pissed off at the station, whatever. And Ghost got on stage and said, we gonna be around longer than any, radio station or Wendy Williams or Angie Martinez. We gonna be around longer than you. Like, he went on stage and said that. And then it came back to me like, yo, Ghost dissed you on the stage. And I was like,
Well, who came back to you and said that?
well, everybody was saying that because he was mad, but he
right.
wasn't mad at me. He just was
Mad at the
upset about
station.
the station, the system, he was venting. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. But in that moment,
Yeah.
it was like, young flower.
Right.
I'm like,
He just pissed
what
on
did
me.
I do? You just pissed on me. I'm over here trying to grow my little flower, and
Right.
he peed on me. But it never. We never had a conversation about it. It never mattered. I even knew in the
Right.
moment that that's not about me.
Right.
And then we would see each other later, and it was all good.
Right.
And it was all love. But then also, I was at the Grammys when Wu-Tang is for the children.
Right, on ODB.
We were nominated for Ladies Night.
Right.
I knew we weren't going to win because Puff was going to win. They gave me, I was so excited. It was my first Grammys. Imagine this. Your first Grammys, your first song, big song. You go to the Grammys, they sit you in the fucking nosebleeds.
Oh, man.
I was sitting in the nosebleeds and I was there and I was spent hours to get dressed.
I did my first Grammys in the nosebleeds.
You were in the nosebleeds too? And you were
I wasn't nominated, but I was definitely there in the nosebleeds.
well, so then if you weren't nominated, you probably expected to be in the nosebleeds.
No, I didn't. I did.
You didn't expect.
I did.
We were nominated.
This is sweet.
Oh, that's how they do it. You know that rap category. They don't do the rap category too good.
Okay, all right, fuck it.
That was your first year? What year was that?
That was the year that Chance won.
Okay.
Yeah, that was what 2016.
And you watched that from the nosebleeds.
2016. Yeah, I mean it wasn't the bleeds,
Yeah.
but it was like a runny
the
nose.
Were you
nose
watching
runny.
Chance like one day I'm gonna be down there?
Oh yeah, no, I was like next year I'm here, but it's all good.
And
like,
you were? Was it the next
no,
year?
No, I wasn't. I never went back.
You never went
I
back?
never went back. No.
Really? Left you salty? You were salty being up there?
No. I wasn't salty. I kind of
just
went
saying.
there to kind of like, just build and
Yeah.
connect with the committee and just kind of have an understanding of how that type of thing runs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny because I just watched a Travis Scott documentary. Shout out to T, because like I'm glad that he showed that moment. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
had a
no,
chance
he
to
was-
check
I
it
didn't see it
out.
yet.
I
But
heard
he was
that.
in like they're about to announce rap album of the year, and I guess they call everybody to backstage. They got the cameras on you as if you're about to win, and then just
You
for you to
don't win.
lose. It's like
Just for
damn.
you to lose.
I was like,
It's
a
horrible.
minute ago, Frank Ocean put out a whole like essay he wrote about that and how he feel about the Grammys and how he felt like it was taking away the integrity from artists. You know what I mean? People feeling like they worked for that their whole lives, and then just for it not to come. But it's a beautiful thing either way. That's how I look at it.
You
Like
won something or nominated for something.
I never won no awards, Angie,
Ever
except for
in life?
BMI.
But you were nominated for a big one. I feel like I saw your name in a nomination for a big
My
award.
first year BET Hip Hop Awards Mixtape of the Year.
Okay.
I was nominated.
That was it?
Yeah, I never nominated.
You don't do this
won
for that anyway.
Yeah, I don't. And also
Man.
how I look at it, whatever misses me wasn't meant for me.
Word.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know I'm on my own time, my divine time. That's all that matters to me. Like the awards, the accolades, is moments like this.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad that I get to be a pillar in this room with two people that I looked up to growing up. You know what I'm saying? So that's
and you're
that's
doing
all I need.
quality shit too. So it's like
Yeah, I mean,
that always wins every
when it
time.
comes, it comes. And
When your flower grows and your
Listen.
fruit is coming off the flower.
facts, you feel me?
know
I'm just
what saying?
growing my tree.
None of that's
you know?
gonna matter.
I'm also a fond believer in the mind reaching the destination before the body. So truly,
Yeah.
I ain't even write my Grammy speech yet. So am I really ready?
No. And do you even really want that?
Yeah, do I really want
Do
it?
you really want it?
I might go write it tonight.
Well, here's a bit of good. Here's a bit of good news.
What?
I get to vote now.
You vote now.
I get to
Yay.
vote. So at least you got somebody.
Can you get me some decent seats?
Wait. Does your vote still count for 3 votes?
That would be nice. That would be
Right.
nice. Anyway, I was up there in the bleachers and I was mad I was there. I was in a tight dress and I wanted to go home because our category, they didn't even air it on TV and we lost. And I'm up there and I was just about to leave and then the Wu came out and had the Wu-Tang is for the children moment.
right.
Yeah,
And I was like,
classic moment.
this is a classic. It changed my whole night. I was just happy to be there in this classic moment. And I mean, that's just one. I'm sure there's a million
So many, yo.
Wu-Tang classic moments, but I was honored to be in the room for that. And I knew that moment was something that was going to last forever.
No internet back then, which is crazy.
Imagine.
You had to wait to the end of the year. It's like the 10 top things of the year, and
That
then MTV
happened.
start running it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's like,
You should post that for a Throwback Thursday coming up.
okay,
You should post that moment.
Maybe. Okay,
That was
okay.
an iconic moment.
I'll repost it and be like, that was me up in the bleachers watching.
Circle
In the
with
cheap
red circle.
seats. In the cheap seats. Well, congratulations, Hulu, everybody. I love that you're in this. Anything that you need to tell the people while you're here? What's next? I feel like you're going to book a really big movie after this.
Me too.
You do? Like a blockbuster, like something.
Yeah, me too.
Are people calling?
People are calling.
They are?
There's a lot of offers. Yeah.
Good for you, Joey.
I'm just.
Are you doing any fashion week?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Everything.
What do you mean?
Like everything.
You showing up in your Paco
I'll be there
Rabanne?
and there and here and shaking hands. I'm just trying to do my part, Angie.
I feel that.
Put my
Are you
work
doing
in.
any fashion week stuff?
No, I actually got to shoot to Toronto for the film festival and all that. I'm y'all film guy. You
I
see?
know.
That-
You know what's so funny?
transition.
When we have to wrap up, I know, but before you came in, they put the thing on the table and it has like your filmography. Shit is like 2 pages long.
Yeah, so I'm that guy from hip hop
Wow.
that was able to go out there and add on, a few of us, of course.
And you're so funny on camera. Like you have this like it's funny, but it's not funny. It's like serious, but it's funny, and you have to watch. You know, there's certain people that come on camera. You're like,
Oh,
Especially
thank you.
the movie
like
with,
in Funny
Forrest
People.
Whitaker.
I'm thinking about Funny People.
Oh, thank
It
you.
was
Yeah.
so funny in
Well,
that.
thank you, yo.
Congratulations,
Ah, man.
guys. It's
Thank
good
you,
to
yo.
see you both. Can we
Good to
have
see
it
you
one
too.
time, please? RZA Joey Badass, Power 105.1.